I go on vacation for 2 weeks, and when I come back, the house is literally falling apart. Smoke detectors beeping, the toilets are running, it is just a mess. Always something when you go on vacation. What's going on, fellow fixers? I'm Jeremy, and I'm a fixer. This is a channel all about helping you fix and maintain your home so you can help others do the same. So when I go on vacation, when I was a kid, this was many, many years ago, we always would go to the mountains and go to Pennsylvania for a couple weeks when I was a kid. Well, one summer when we got back, our house was completely flooded. So just one of the pipes burst and the entire house was flooded. It caused a ton of damage. So because of that, whenever I leave on a long vacation, I always turn off the water to the house. That way, if there's ever any issues, when I come back, I won't have a flooded house. Well, we just went to Pennsylvania to visit my parents. We drove a long time. It's about a 19-hour drive all the way up there and then a 19-hour drive back. Well, we just got back yesterday and I walk in the house and the first thing that I hear is the doggone smoke detector beeping, which is fine, you know, that's easy. I'll swap out the battery and we'll be good to go. Well, here's the other thing. I turn the water back on, turn the hot water heater back on. Once I do that, I hear the toilet run. Now, the toilet is already full, and it had been doing this a little bit before we left. And so it would just basically, there's a leak, I'm guessing in the flapper valve, because it just sort of trickles, and then every 20 minutes or so, it'll turn on and fill up to replenish that water that was drained out. So the issue is that in that particular bathroom, I have, for the water shut off for the toilet, is just one of those shut off valves, but it's the kind that has the rubber gasket inside. And clearly that gasket is worn, because if you close that valve all the way, water still runs into the toilet. So I can't even fix that toilet because I've got to fix that valve first so that I can turn off the water to that valve and then repair it. So that's issue number one. Issue number two is I come back here to the master bathroom, obviously use the restroom, and this is what it's doing. All right, so I don't know if you can see it or not, but this toilet is leaking when you flush it right here, right in this seam. It means that the rubber bushing that goes between the tank and the bowl has failed, so that every time I flush it, it's leaking water here. So that's another thing that I've got to fix while I was gone, or now that I'm back. And guess what? This one has one of those rubber gasket valves as well. And so I can't fix this toilet until I fix that valve as well. So that means that in order to fix both of these toilets, I've got to turn the water off to the entire house, replace those two valves so that I can actually turn off the water, and then I can pull the toilet apart and figure out why they are leaking. So that's why I say you leave on vacation for 2 weeks, and when you come back, everything's falling apart. Now, that's not even to mention the fact that in my office, which is outside, a breaker has failed on me since I left, which is a whole nother thing I've got to fix. Let me see if I can swap the battery out on this smoke detector. Then I'm going to turn off the water and see if I can swap out these valves. So this is the bushing that sits between the tank and the bowl. So that's what I'm going to replace. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Turn the water off. 3 bolts that go through the tank into the bowl, and there's some nuts on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off so I can pull the whole tank off. Alright, I went ahead and loosened up each of these bolts and took the nuts that were down here off so that it's loose. Now what I got to do is remove this faucet hose, and it's going to leak water, so have a towel or something down. Now I just got to take that whole tank off. Alright, so the issue I'm going to have is that what I got does not work for this. It's a whole different setup, and you can see right here where this dark color is, that's where it's leaking. But it actually doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. It might have just been sitting in there funky. So I'm actually going to try to clean that up. Clean the bowl up and see what happens. Alright, so before I go try to find another one of these seals, I went ahead and cleaned it up because the seal looked like it was in good shape. Yeah, I tightened this nut down here, and then I also cleaned up the bowl. So I'm going to try to set this back down and tighten it up and see if I can get a good seal. Alright, so this one, I went ahead and tested it, flushed the toilet. Alright, this one's a simple fix. Could do this every daylight savings time. But, of course, you know how that goes. You forget. Alright, that works. I'm going to go ahead and leave that unplugged because the babies are sleeping. Alright, so this toilet, I'm pretty sure it's just leaking through the flapper right here. So I got a new flapper. I'm going to swap that out, see if that resolves it. And it's really pretty straightforward. This unclips on the top. And then there's just two little rubber pieces that come off of these hooks. And that whole flapper comes up. So this is the same kind of setup as that other one. So it's possible that it's leaking through here, but I'm going to do this right now. We'll see if this resolves it. I'm going to have to take this clip off and move it down the chain so that it will sit basically about like that. Alright, good news. I replaced the flapper and I did not hear the water running. It was, you could just hear a little faint trickle as it trickled down into the toilet. I'm just not doing that anymore. Let's make sure it flushes. And I did not hear a trickle, so I would say that one's fixed. Alright, so I actually didn't get around to replacing the valves because I thought I had CPVC glue and I did not, but this is what I'm going to swap it with. This is a quarter turn valve. It doesn't actually deal with any of those rubber bushings. It's actually just a ball valve that seals it, closes it off. There's no multiple twisting. It's literally just a quarter turn on and off. So I guess this might be another video coming a little bit later on. That means I can take these back to Lowe's. And I can take this back to Lowe's because I don't need them now. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And check out this video right over here if you haven't already seen that one. And as always, get out there and fix something. I'll see you on the next video.